And we are live in the server here for Nuke between M80 and the Party Astronauts. Off to the races. PA's pick. M80's side choice. So they'll start on the defense. It looks like we're going to fast upper hit. Straight into the fray they go. Couple quick kills. It's looking good for PA. Something of an answer, but Swisher can't hang on with the dualies. Now this is a tough retake. If Bone alone can get out of this unbreakable box. Actually, a little risky that the bomb's stuck there. But no, they have evacuated. Yeah. They've dealt with the Heaven presence, and it's over.
Wow, very similar to their T-side pistol yesterday, just overloading the A site immediately and getting those early frags. I think they came from Chop and Ben Lead, and well done, of course. I mean, you mentioned Pwn alone being stuck behind the unbreakable box, but I mean, they were able to isolate, realize the fact that Slacks was isolated over in lobby, so they had one player in Heaven to worry about. And once he took care of the Heaven player, that was it. The round was pretty much done. So fantastic start for the Party Astronauts. And while we were off the air waiting for him to get going, I was just mentioning that I have no idea who's going to be able to come out with the win here because of how back and forth these two teams have played over their last few BO3s. So, I mean, honestly, could go either way. Reck is going to get that frag on Chop, though. Through the smoke, it's just USP's M80 opting not to force up. malbs gets tagged down to 6 HP, so he's surviving by a hair, while Ben Leet takes so much space in ramp, realizing no one's here, and this is probably going to determine the outcome of the round because M80 is all stacked up towards the outside. maNkz is going to see them, so that's information gained, so maybe they can cycle back, but Cxzi in the meantime takes down Swisher, and the B site is lost by M80.
Should be just about it. We have had a player DC as well, so keep an eye on that. Hopefully be resolved quickly.
Oh boy.
But Cxzi adding some numbers here. On for the ace. Unless it is snatches. No, the ace indeed will be confirmed. Just Cxzi starting off with a little bit of flair here in the anti-eco, and Chop's already back in the server, so we're all good.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a pretty standard affair. The early frag from Reck made it potentially interesting, but Cxzi just took care of business. Perfect lurk to ensure that at least one goes down. Then he comes around on the other side in towards ramp room and takes care of business. So Party Astronauts cruising to an early 2-0 lead. But here comes the buy-up for M80, 4 A1Ss and the FAMAS. So no op in Slacks' hands yet. Swisher is going to go aggressive here, spamming the smoke towards the outer yard. Now he backs off into mini and joins two other teammates, maNkz and Reck, in the defense of that upper bomb site. Ben Leet, he's already poking out and prodding. Party Astronauts like to have a faster pace here on Nuke, so let's see if they do it again. Here they come.
Chaw. Nice frag on. It's looking good right now for PA. Couple big kills for Chaw. Utility well deployed as well, and they're actually back out. Interesting, all this space, and now they're making their way back through.
Oh, goodness.
Chop just massacring everybody. It's almost like they took the site twice.
Yeah, they backed off for a moment, like you said, and then said, okay, let's go back in. They're trying to potentially, I don't know, convince M80 that they were going to go for the rotation, but it was so brief. Maybe just a miscommunication, thinking, all right, guys, we're actually going to commit to this, and they decided in a split second to go for it once more. And, well, it worked out perfectly because they got 3 frags consecutively, and everyone survived. So that's awesome for their economy. We'll be able to buy up all of the utility they could possibly need. And on the other side, that was a very lackluster rifle round coming through from M80. They will have the pistol upgrades this time, but Ben Leet already finds the opening one. Swisher, there's the deagle coming through from him. He takes down Pwn alone, makes it a 4v4. The gun is, of course, out of reach, though, so he's going to have to settle for the deagle. See how it pans out.
Ben spotted a player. Spotted one. Timing's a little awkward there, but going to be able to get the kill. Indeed, it is a clean sweep. It's looking good for PA on the start here. And it's looking good on the round as well. Chop's off to the races. 7-1 the scoreline so far. Early days. But still, the way this team works, Chop's not really required to be the firepower piece. So when he is, it's a pretty dang good sign.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he did step up as the season went on. He had a very slow start to season 46 and wasn't the fragger that we expected, as Cxzi's going to take down Slacks here. Only Reck left coming into hell. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to do much. But yeah, as I was saying, Chop had a slow start, but he ended up being the second top fragger on the team, right behind Ponalone. Ponalone with 474 and Chop with 427 frags, now plus 46 kill to death differential, along with the best headshot percentage on the team at 57%.
This is kind of funny. Cxzi might just drop on Reck's head.
He might.
Let's see, they get clear. Here's the engagement. I only had one bullet in. Oh no. Reck lost track of the ammo. So everyone's going to get out A-OK for PA. Cash building. And we're going to get the investment here for M80. Op is out for Slacks.
Timeout.
Pause comes in.
I'm not sure if this is technical.
Is this a timeout or is it a...
It looks like it might have just been a tech pause here for exit lag to be put on by one of the players, but he was upon alone. Anyway, it's back live very, very shortly. This is not going to last long.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. All good. Just sorting out lag situations, but we should be dealing with it.
This is
Still, let's see. I'm curious about how they're going to deploy Slacks here early on, right? Because a lot of what PA's been doing successfully, we've had these fast upper hits. We've had relatively quick rounds.
Yes.
To be quite frank, there's not a lot of slow developing here. So how do you maximize Slacks early? Where does he go to try and find that early fight with the big green?
I mean, I would say go towards Big Garage, right? And try to take those fights very quickly against the party astronauts who have been abusing the outer yard in these past few rounds. Yes, I mean, a couple of their hits came in from lobby, but Cxzi, I think he was the one lurking towards that position, and he ended up finding a frag that led to a couple of one of those round victories. And of course, that last round, they just abused them. It was only pistols. So we'll see what M80 decides to do. But definitely, I'd like to see Slacks deployed towards the outside, perhaps the beginning, or at least in ramp room, to have a look-see and what'll happen there. Those are, I'd say those are the most favorable positions. Maybe heaven, so we can have an eye on the A site and, of course, outside at the same time. He's a very good opper.
He is that.
I would say keep him in positions where he can be very versatile, though, and just dynamic in his movement.
Let's see what he does. We're back into it. Ponalone bought up. Everybody invested. Timer running out. And it's time to get back into the fray. A slow start for M80. Bulldoze these last few rounds. Only 5 kills to speak of in these 4 rounds. So they need to get going here.
That's wild. That I think only 4 kills, Mike. Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Counting is hard.
That's fine. Just surprising. Either way.
He is indeed. Op is heaven, looks like. Early on, looking for this fight into the upper hit. Maybe expecting the faster play to come down. Shifts around in towards ramp. Which is interesting. They're going to post him up in ramp, or they're going to shift around. So that's how they're deploying the op. Molotov goes in. It's an upper hit.
Oh,
they didn't realize the player was already out. The mini smoke sections them, and Reck's just left for dead. Spam kill on might set up this retake to be viable, but once again, PA with the upper hit just not really being held in check at Squeak.
I mean, we saw this yesterday, too, with the party actions gets unjustified. We thought maybe they were bullying them, but no, they are favoring a very fast-paced style of play here on Nuke. maNkz going to come out here, takes a lot of damage down to 36, but still gets the frag, then gets a ball. No, it's malbs to find Vid, and malbs gets the 2K. Swisher gets the last, and wow, did that round flip on its head quickly. There's the first for M80.
Wow, that's unbelievable that they get through that without a blemish. I mean, half those kills came spamming through smoke, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little bit of fortune mixed into that, but they're also just covering all their bases. The spam is on, the kills are there, the timing is perfect on the mini and the heaven push. And it works out. It's a heck of a way to get on the board. It's a compelling way as well, considering you kind of just got bulldozed on towards the site. You still make it work.
Yeah, maNkz got that one on 60, and then malbs just, like you said, spamming away. It actually wasn't even through the smoke. It was around the edge.
malbs was in heaven.
Yeah.
malbs was on the heaven side. It was Swisher and
right.
I think
Yes,
maNkz coming back there from mini.
Still, great job by all 4 surviving players for M80, because they were able to pull that back very nicely. So it's good, a good sign as well, considering how they've been bulldozed over the first 4, to see those signs of life that we fully expected.
Swisher aggressive here by the red box, making noise on it. Chop's down below in the shadow of the Schmallow. This could be big timing. Chop phases the smoke. He's looking to phase the next one too. Oh, so much rides on this fade. Chop into the big garage. No one's looking for him. They don't know. He's found perfect timing on this. Now Swisher dead to rights, and now they know. Sound the alarm. maNkz is in a really tough spot here. That's a beautiful bit of play from Chop. Just could not have been in a better spot. So now you're under pressure. You've had to shift slacks down lower to try and account for this, to try and deal with it. You're going to smoke off many, gives you access in towards heaven. The rapid towards ramps available as well, and that's actually going to send mobs lower. Look at this adjustment. This is a heavy read and lean now. They're not committed anyway. Still holding up top. Nothing's been seen lower. This is, I mean, this is pretty much a gamble at this point. Indeed, it seems for PA like this is eventually going to end A, as they're taking heaven control. They're keeping the bomb at big garage. If maNkz can hold on to lobby, if maNkz can win this duel against Viz.
Oh, the timing.
Retake is viable. But maNkz won't catch it, and now that should spell the end of the round. Bomb gonna go down. No defenders on the A site. It's got to be a save for M80.
Well, that's just so unfortunate for maNkz, right? He slipped on through at the wrong moment. The timing was not in his favor. He wasn't expecting Viz to be coming up from lobby from T-spawn. And, well, like you said, that's the round. There's no way they're going to risk these rifles. They got to save them with the money they have in the bank account. So a fifth round, nice isolation of that round victory by the party astronauts, who do slow it down just a touch. And it works out fantastically.
I mean, that was all about Chop, right? Yeah, he only gets one kill. But that positioning is just crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
The timing he gets phasing through the smokes. That's why they slow it down. He's just found that space. And once he's into big garage like that, with no one aware of it, that's a tough position to deal with.
Yeah, and of course, smart on them, like you mentioned, to let him gain that space. To let's see what Chop can do before we decide to go any further towards the other yard, backing off. So well done. And let's see if they can get that that space gained once more. Honestly, I'm surprised that M80 were falling back so passively on that garage hold, because I mean, usually you'd have a player at least there to get some information, but no one was watching the position from garage, I guess due to the nature of the smokes. Anyway, Slack's gonna push up. This is extremely aggressive stuff. Rockland being dynamic, and no, he misses the shot. Chop gets him immediately. So another opening frag for Chop under very different circumstances, and the man advantage gained already by PA.
Big problems now. They're in towards lower. No one's addressed it just yet. That's a very fortunate break for maNkz. Gonna even up the numbers. Now they can rotate down. Shifting Swisher on in. Should be here on the timing as well. Here's the door open. Got support. Mom's able to get the first. That's the bomb as well. Now committed in towards lower, so they can't adjust. They can't bail out. Gonna have to commit into these fights. Got time. Viz is working in late. It's the big question. It's Viz and maNkz again in this duel. If Viz can find the timing, find the backstab, he could be the difference maker. But he's losing teammates in the meantime, and now it's all Viz.
Goodness.
And they've got the control, and as they feel no other pressure, they're going to come looking up top again. Viz, again, nothing. That's going to be M80 on the board.
That's a nice recovery by M80, right? After losing that first one to Chop, Slacks goes down immediately, but they're able to shut the party astronauts down on their attempted take. And of course, Viz left kind of hanging in the wind. He goes for a play into ramp, but nothing happens because they were just poking around and saying, okay, let's have a look, like you said. And, well, Viz gets caught out. The timing not in his favor. There we have it. The second round for M80. So very back and forth over the last three. Party astronauts still have enough to go for a full investment. Cone alone with the big green out against Slacks. We'll see if they face off against each other. Some nades and util fly in front of Cone alone's face. Not much damage taken, but it's enough to at least push him back in towards lobby. Chop continues to work the outer yard. Swisher expecting it, waiting for Mini. It's going to be an important fight here. Assuming we can get one, because the smokes are coming out. maNkz gets the opener, though. That's on Benleet.
Chop, Shadow gives him away, but no, still gets the kill.
Wow.
Dude is snappy right now. Reck taking one. Oh, finally getting his. Look at the damage that he's done as well. Now support available, and that upper sight is going to hold. Home Alone living up to his name. Lone Wolf against the tides of this round. He's got the bomb at least. A chance to make some magic happen, but it's going to be malbs as the first test. Dueling in towards hell. The jump around. His mom's going to spawn him. Very passive towards this. Not giving the information away, waiting for the audio cue, so it likely means the plant's available here for Pwn Alone.
Oh yeah, the thing is he has to clear so many angles, right? And eventually he's just going to have to commit to the plant and hope for the best. I like that he's clearing out Cubby. Oh, there's the
audio cue.
He's got to do it though.
Instantly they're pouncing. They're conceding the plant. They just want to win the round. Not concerned about the money at this point. Trying to get the dub through, making sure they're all in position, and maNkz will be there just as he tries to slip away.
That's tough. That's really tough for Pwn Alone. Opens the door and immediately gets clotheslined by the AK of maNkz, who's got a 3K on the round. Not usually the player you see fragging out, but nicely done for him on the top of the scoreboard, helping power his team back into this one after a 4-0 start for the Party Astronauts. They're on a 3-1 run. And one thing that's nice to see for M80 is even though they're losing some of the early fights, their recovery has been fantastic in order to ensure that the Party Astronauts, despite getting some opening frags, are still not able to close out those rounds. So now, given that round victory from M80, it will be no rifles for the Party Astronauts. They have enough, though, to go for a pretty good half-buy. Tech 9s across the board, which favors their fast style of play here on Nuke. And a decent chunk of util available as well. They've already got control of lobby. M80 not really getting aggressive in this direction. They haven't really. I think maNkz was the only one who kind of dipped his toes in this pond, and Viz was quick to take him down when that happened. Slack's waiting over at ramp room. He's got the op in hand, fires away, spots the information. Like I didn't call for reinforcements. He's got to get the heck out of here, though.
I'll be able to. Back it on off. Still, they do take ramp. They got all this space outside. Shop's got to be wondering where the contact's coming. There's the contact coming. Just missed the timing on this. Had to be wondering how much real estate he was going to get for free, right? It's like, where's the other shoe dropping? Where's the other shoe dropping? But actually, there's no one here to defend A. So, again, M80 have shown they're perfectly comfortable conceding bomb plants, and this is likely to be another one. Cxzi trying to phase the smoke. Oh, it works!
Okay.
My goodness, that's a rifle gain. That's going to be a lot of help in terms of firepower for this post plant. And two players down the vent. Yeah, it's tough to get them up top.
They're stuck. I mean, they can't really help. maNkz has to get at least one here.
No one's holding it. No one's holding it.
No.
PA have gone very far afield. Pummelone's trying to get into heaven. So they're just defending from hut, but the bomb's not planted for heaven. So that's a little bit of an odd choice. Kill comes through. Has to be the swing. Desperation from Cxzi, but the bomb's going to be defused, and Cxzi will be put down. Couldn't find the stab he needed. That's an absolutely chaotic post plant, but it is M80 coming out on top.
Jeez, I thought for a moment the Party Astronauts would have that, but they decided to go for an extremely passive hold, which I can't really blame them for due to the fact they didn't have that much firepower, only the upgraded rifle, so they decided to bunch up in Squeaky Door and Lobby and hope that that would be enough to secure the round. And I mean, they got the bomb plant in a round they didn't necessarily invest that much into, so that's good. They will have a stronger buy-up as a result, but they're calling a timeout here because this one started off extremely strong for them, and now it's potentially starting to slip through their fingers. We'll see if they can still close out this half with the majority of the rounds won. But on the other side, M80, they built up that economy, looking very strong. Swisher, a little low in that regard, not only in money, but in frags. Hasn't necessarily had the impact he usually does. But you have maNkz picking up the slack.
Looks like we're gonna get an engagement outside. Swisher's playing this in the big garage this time. Slacks up top. Could be taking a duel. Behind the cooling. He's feeling frosty. He's getting space. How do they keep getting all this ground despite the number of eyes watching? They keep getting a lot of room. Problem is now, I think they're somewhat at least aware of Cxzi. The question is, can they capitalize? Chop certainly can, continuing his strong run of form. And malbs, I had no idea Cxzi'd slip past him. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. Cxzi slipped through the smoke, and now this could be full disaster on. Viz has walked out, and M80 have lost complete track of what's going on in this round.
I mean, you talked about it. Look, Reck's gonna be the last one here. Chop takes care of him. That's the round for Party Astronauts. But like I was saying, you talked about the fact that M80 is giving them so much space, letting them walk around the outside yard to their heart's content. And, well, that's the result. Cxzi slips through here, gets the first that you didn't see, and then that second slacked afterward, which throws everyone for a loop. Viz gets met in entirely the wrong direction, then Chop finds Reck, who is the lone man surviving after all of that chaos. So, well done for the Party Astronauts, continuing to abuse the space that they're given, and they're back on the scoreboard here, at least ensuring that either they'll end up with a tie here, or they'll take the majority of the rounds here in this first half. malbs gonna spam through this smoke. Party Astronauts looking to mix things up potentially a little bit. Oh, that nade can do a lot of damage, and it does! Pwn and Viz down to around half health, and then another nade to pop the smoke does damage to themselves. So they're going out here very wounded. They gain the space, but at what cost?
Let's see. It is good real estate. And good real estate carries a steep margin, John. If I've learned anything from trying to exist as a human being in the modern world, it's that housing is expensive.
Oh, it is.
Let's see. Cxzi, maybe being the point person. They're strung out so far, and actually look at Swisher coming in on the flank. He's kind of beating them at their own game at this point. Okay. Looked like he wanted to go for a knife for a moment, see if there were more players close at hand. Eventually decides, okay, let's not let him activate. Let's not let him start tossing utility. malbs gets the first. Pressure on. Good read, malbs. Good read indeed. Stays alive a ridiculously long time. Leaves it all to Cxzi, who will be quickly checked by reck. Big round out. That's M80 taking the initiative, saying, okay, last time we let them establish all the fights. We let them control all the engagements where they happened, and we lost track. This time, send out the flank, get aggressive, they take ramp room. Okay, our response is to lurk around outside.
Yeah, that's a fantastic call. You're absolutely right. Sending Swisher in on the flank, not to mention, of course, that early damage, that great nade thrown, and the Party Astronauts sacrificing even more HP to get into ramp room and pop the smoke. That was a big difference maker as well, because it made them off their targets in every way. Now the Party Astronauts say, well, we don't have much to work with. Let's full send it into the A site. First frag found for Swisher. Reck able to, well, he's not going to get one, but Swisher finds a second. Slacks gets chopped. They slip down into the B site, so maybe a plant comes through here. Viz is still hanging out at hut.
Yeah, and Cxzi's coming back up to clear secret.
Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like
I'm
this.
expecting him around this corner.
Oh my
Get
goodness!
The first, the second as well. Cxzi, the patient game. How on earth? Gotta clear your corners when this guy's around.
Now they're going B. No, they're gonna go back A.
Now they're pulling back up, potentially. Cxzi, there's still time on the clock. He's messing with their expectations right now. Messing with ours. And now there's no one on the B site. Because M80's wondering where the heck they've gone.
Slacks at 2 HP as well.
Disastrous. A 2v5. The bomb now down. And malbs, desperation spamming because he does not know where that plant is. Slack's gone. Spots the player slipping off, but what can he do with this knowledge now? It's a 1v2. Has a kit. He's going to get the molly down. Hope the player would be into the corner. That's not going to be the case, but he's got the right idea on the engagement. Not on the timing, though.
Goodness me, Mike.
What a way to end the half. Party Astronauts 2-round lead, and we'll be back. And we're back for the second half of play. Strong showing for the Party Astronauts. That last round, a thing of beauty from Cxzi.
Yes.
Let's see if they can start off strong here. Swisher has other things in mind. Dynamic play right into the action, but Shot will get an answer back and another as well. The dualies finding their damage. An advantage, though, and from the lobby, maNkz now strikes and gets the final as well. So pistol round on to slowly eat away at this lead, and might just see a tight scoreline here before we know it.
Oof, wow, that was a vicious pistol round come through from M80. Very similar to what the Party Astronauts did toward that A site, and I thought for a second Chop might have had something magical happening with the dualies, but once he goes down to the third player he interacts with, that's when things started to tilt in favor of M80, and good on maNkz with the 3K. But I really need to talk about that last round of the first half. I mean, just the fact that, you know, they convinced M80 they were going to go towards the B site. Viz waits at A, takes down one. Cxzi the patience, the trigger discipline to wait for two to pass him. Then he takes both down with perfect shots. I mean, they could not have played that 2v5 better. Just absolutely brilliant. As Cxzi, we're talking about him, does get the opener here. Is he going to slip away? He does, just barely. Down to 1 HP. Trades his rifle over to Viz and picks up a pistol instead. There's a 4-spy for the Party Astronauts.
Numbers evened up. The wounded player is claimed, but Slacks is traded.
That's so smart.
And that's the bomb dropped. That's a big problem now. They've got to come back up top. Swisher's waiting by the vent to pop on up and try and surprise somebody. The defense is split, but it's all about killing Viz. That's the key piece, and without the vent broken, tough for Swisher to do much with this position. 40 seconds on the clock. Bomb will be reclaimed. Viz is still waiting around here. Credit card waiting to strike. He's not going to be able to do so, but malbs will be claimed in the meantime. That's the flank that was developing. Let's see if the bomb can get planted. There's still Ponalone here up in heaven, but he doesn't want to overplay the hand. It's all about winning this round. So bomb plant at least secured, but it's going to be heroics from Swisher or maNkz required to take this one through. Swisher can't connect the shots. maNkz is gone. A no-scope at that, and Swisher, not much longer for this world. 4 players survive, and the 4-spy, it's a thing of beauty for Party Astronauts.
I mean, a couple of things to highlight there. 1, Cxzi gets the opener, slips away, only 1 HP, and the little plays make a difference, guys, as he gives the rifle over to Viz. He's the one to engage first, says, look, Viz, trade me with the rifle, and it's exactly what happens. So the full HP player has the advantage in that situation after Cxzi gives him the rifle, and then, of course, you have that one, and then Ponalone. There's so much temptation when you have a rifle or any type of scoped weapon over in heaven to try and peek around and get a quick shot off on the players that are planting. But he has the discipline to say, you know what? Like you said, Mike, it's about the bigger picture. Give him the plant, but win the round. That's exactly what happens. Not only do they ensure the round victory comes through, but it's Ponalone, after he waits for so long, comes around, gets the no-scope, and then the follow-up as well. That is some very good play from the Party Astronauts as they take their 8th and isolate another round victory for M80, who are going to force up here. They have an AK, 2 Tech 9s, and a couple of Deagles, little bit of util to work with, a full belt for Slacks, but everyone else just has a piece here and there.
Secret smoke's thrown. Down they go, and Ponalone waits. They'll know this spot. Cxzi was here. Gave them a nice notice. I'd imagine they'll check it this time. Let's see. I imagined correctly. Still dink on to Swish, but the shot does come through. Fool you once. Shame on you. Fool him twice. Can't get fooled again. And Swisher, he's no fool. The leading players lower taken. This might just be the round. There's still a lobby lurk in the form of malbs with a malbsMd. Well, it won't be long for this world, but that may just secure the point of egress.
I don't know. I mean,
Cxzi's giving a look. His teammates are not about it.
Yeah, the guns were free last round. I guess you want to keep your economy healthy on CT side, and they do have a 2-round lead as of right now. It'll be reduced to only 1. But Yeah, that's the right call in this situation. Not really having much space towards the B site. Yes, you have the kit, so you can slowly approach it and try to take some fights, especially considering that a couple of players were low, but not to be. And Swisher, I mean, he deserves huge props for pulling off that round. He was the only rifler headed into this round with the AK, and well, you can see why. He's been the hero for M80 many times in the past, and it's because of plays like that that he's trusted with the AK when no one else can get one.
Now, a very limited buy for PA. Let's see what they can put together. Obviously, this is not subtle business based on the way we've seen these ecos go so far. But PA's not going to chase it, right? You could actually get a pretty good force buy around here. But they're going to try and keep the money healthy. Say, okay, you know, if we get a tight scoreline, that's fine. We'll get an op out in the next. Going alone. No op. No armor. No life. Clear back in, and now it's looking darn peachy for M80. 5v3. Ramp room basically open for the taking, should they choose to take it, which looks like they will choose, John. Does look like they will choose.
Hold on a second.
A little Viz on the roof.
Yeah.
I've heard of a cat on a hot tin roof. Have you heard of a Viz?
Well, we have now. 4v3 for M80, who are going to make their way into the B site. This is the right call because there's not really anyone here. There will be shortly. Bentley's going to open up the double doors. Viz joining him. That's a very quick rotation. Oh, they come around. Viz does get the trade after Bentley goes down, but there's going to be a play. Can Viz do anything more? No. Oh, he does. No, he got a frag. Excuse me.
He did.
I didn't even realize. Chopped last one standing. 1v2. This is winnable, Mike.
So quick as well. Double door opens. It's all about Chop. Can he get this done? Trying to bait him out of the Slaxus angle. Now Chop knows they're both here. So at some point, they're going to try and double take the engagement. Door open. Chop toying with him. Shao gives him away is the problem here. A little bit of tomfoolery. And eventually, Malbs will find the killing blow. Still, Viz had us believing there for a moment, and reminder, they saved here. So now Viz can drop an op over. They'll have the full rifles up. Gonna have a really substantial buy from Party Astronauts. This next round is a big one. Big swing.
Oh, yes. But they have enough for, well, at least full buy in terms of rifles on the Party Astronaut side, but utility is going to be a little lighter. That could cost them, especially considering they need quite a bit at the beginning here to ensure the fast pushes don't come through. M80's already taking control of that lobby. They're going in towards ramp. Thinking about taking that fight. The Molotov does slow them down. As mentioned, the mollies they had to be used early to stop those quick pushes, which has been effective, but now they're not left with much. 3 smokes, a flash, and a nade, and already one of those smokes committed towards Squeaky, and we still have a lot of time left. So M80, if they realize that the Party Astronauts' money was a little bit tight going into this round, then they'll likely just wait out this util and go for their hit when the Party Astronauts will be far more vulnerable. Cxzi, waiting for this opportunity here. He comes around, great timing, catches Swisher with util in his hands, gets the quick frag, and now a trade will come through. maNkz at least good for that, and they will take the space in towards ramp.
Play on a blooming smoke, but they do catch it. Cxzi in the end. Oh, deleted. All right, maNkz taking over. Says, you know what? I'm going to call the round, and I'm going to frag it out, too. Dink on. No one's rotating. I'm thinking this is another save call coming through from the Party Astronauts. They're backing off of it. They've got no interest in this one, so it's going to be M80 pulling into the lead. And all that bank that was built for PA, it's gone. This is where things could get very difficult indeed.
Jeez. Well, I mean, they should be able to save these rifles at the very least, so that's going to give 3 of those going for the next round. Probably can salvage a buy, definitely can salvage a buy out of that. So, assuming no one else dies, they're okay. The problem is they've now given up the lead to M80, a 9-8 lead for them. And the first time that M80's been up ahead of the Party Astronauts. Again, this is the Party Astronauts map pick, one that they performed on quite well over the last 3 months. The only one they have double-digit round victories, over 16 maps played, 10 wins, 6 losses, and a plus 31 round differential. The next one, which is the pick of M80 going on to Vertigo, and you might look at Party Astronaut stats and say, ooh, that's not looking too great, but over the last 3, it's actually been really good for them, and one of their wins on Vertigo was against M80, so we'll see how it goes. We still got a lot of Nuke left to play, though, and maNkz is going to get the opener onto Viz, so another great start for M80, and in the end, they decide, Mike, not to really invest into this round, which I don't mind either. They have 3 rifles to work with, and the other 2, hoping that the pistols are enough, maybe they can pick up that dropped rifle from Viz.
Alone with just a pistol and control. 1 point of defense here. Molotov going to keep him out of that angle. Chop came in with the big gun. Chop is dropped. Trying to bail out. And maNkz is here to hunt.
No.
He's finding his prey. So that rifle's not going to make it out. Ben Leet just trying to survive with the 1 gun. But this is where M80 could really seize control of this map, right? You're going to have a rifle buy in the next one. You've got the 1 saved gun. But you've got double digits now. You've got a lead building up. You've got cash flow for days. This next rifle round is where Party Astronauts are going to have to put their foot down.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it goes back to a couple of rounds, actually, for M80 when they just had that lone AK, and Swisher was able to deliver a couple of frags going into secret. They got the round in their hands, and that's what started this run. The Party Astronauts probably kicking them. They haven't necessarily played badly. I think M80 are just making that second gear they usually do in these types of situations. Pulling it on back. 10-8. They are the first ones to hit double digits, and honestly, if you would have asked me before the start of this half, I would have said that the Party Astronauts would be the first ones to hit that. But M80 are doing a great job on their T side. Just very structured team. Party Astronauts. They got the op out. Pwn alone, where are you going to deploy him? He hasn't really had a chance to have much impact. Extremely rare to see Pwn alone at the bottom of the scoreboard with only 4 frags after 18 rounds.
It's been slacks on the other side as well, right? Just not been an Opper's day, apparently.
Yeah, very odd.
Slow game for the Oppers here on Nuke. Does seem like it's going to be Pwn alone to be tested.
Interesting spot for the op here.
Cxzi caught. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Right, the spam through. You're not often expected to be returned on. But reck did so, and so they've lost a body. As we stare down Pwn alone scope, this could be the one thing standing between Party Astronauts and Doom. Well, there's the dry jiggle. They were thinking about it.
They're baiting out. Well, they're not even
going back up top.
Yeah.
Going back up top. Just going to leave Swisher on the corner. He might eventually go for this. But they're going to press this control outside that they found. There's the move. Swisher tried to go before it. The Molotov bloom, but the hit comes in towards Upper in the same moment, in the same breath. And so it's all about Viz. What can he do back here? Being peppered by utility, being harassed by flashbangs. He's got the first kill. Damage onto the second as well. Let's see if it's enough.
Look where Ben is. Such a great spot.
They're not looking. They're not checking. They do. On the approach, and Mob gets the kill. Had to go forward. Knew he couldn't stick around. A nade would have done him in. But it leaves Pwn alone in the clutch. Highlighted. It's been a quiet map for him. Well, if ever there was a time to deliver, it's here. And it's now. Oh. And it's not happening. Mobs, 9 HP king over here, taking command in the post plant, and might just have served up Nuke on a silver platter for M80.
Little things make a difference. Like I said before, and Viz in that situation pulls out the util at an ill-advised time. If he had just stuck to the rifle, probably would have been able to take out malbs, but instead wanted to go for the Molotov, and that didn't work out. Credit to malbs, though, for taking the initiative and pushing up. And you're right, Mike. I think that's his only real choice in the situation, because he doesn't know what type of util is going to be thrown, whether it's a Molotov or a nade. And either way, he needs to move.
Watch out here, John. Pwn alone has a max 7.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Where's he going to play with that?
Ramp. Okay. Boost it up. The classic.
Fair enough. That works.
It's pretty much that or hut.
Yeah, I was going to say top of hut would work for a shotgun as well.
You can also hide down secret, but then you feel very silly if they don't ever go there.
Goodness. Well, I don't know how this is going to pan out with M80 going towards garage. maNkz watching secret. Malbs getting Cxzi. I mean,
it's looking good. I mean,
yeah.
the whole presence is now just a lobby play from ramp. There's one player in heaven, but well, I was gonna say, provide malbs doesn't get overwhelmed, there's not much they could do, but he's been overwhelmed. There's a gun gained. Things get a little bit more interesting now. They kind of swap sides. Push creeping. Reck deleting.
Oh,
benLeet making some noise, but it all comes down to Pwn alone.
Oh, if they go red.
They don't. They don't. They go back up top. Unfortunately for Pwn alone, he will not have his day in the sun with the Mag 7. He's even going to get an upgrade. AK found. He's under the ladder. He knows they went this way.
They've got money to buy, and as well, he can go for this.
Swisher making noise. Swisher showing feet. Pwn alone spotting toes. Oh, now the util comes out. Now Swisher knows, and the kill will come to follow. Map point found. M80 on their opponent's map pick. Just need to slide one more round through.
Wow, just a phenomenal recovery as well, right? Because I think the party astronauts walking into this half with 7 rounds, and then they only get 1 in the second half. M80 on the other side, 7. What a ridiculous run for them. We are going to have a tactical timeout called from the party astronauts. Their last chance to get something going here. As mentioned, it will be the full buy-up. But what will it yield? Pwn alone, who's been so very quiet, needs to make some noise. Needs to wake up here on Nuke. Where do you post him up? He tried playing towards those stairs at Double Doors B site, and it did yield a frag, but it was isolated, and he wasn't able to clutch that 1v2. Goodness me. M80, showing why they've been so difficult to play up against throughout this entire season. Swisher does get tagged down to 3. I think that was some util. Chop waiting in mini. And M80 favoring a slower approach than the party astronauts did on their T side, but it's working beautifully.
Cxzi could catch a timing here from the secret steps. Been a few different looks at this. There's a lot of M80 players here. Oh, but they're watching for it, and Reck from on high will lay him low. So Cxzi checked, a 5v4 found, and M80 looking like they could be on the road to an early dub in this matchup. They're going all the way back. They've got Swisher in towards garage. They got the pick outside, and they're going to go all the way back and reset. Don't mind this necessarily. You leave the position for them to have to clear back into. As you can see, a lot of focus from party astronauts right now is trying to get back through.
I feel like they're going to overlook Swisher.
It's possible, and he's going to catch benLeet. So an extra kill now found. That outside position still being a nuisance, a nightmare. Oh, Chop could be cleared out of the corner here. malbs has actually just gone past him. They've left Chop alone. malbs, someone's got to look at mini. Now Chop gets the kill. Little bit of chaos here, but it's all just Chop. So they left him to his own devices, and now he's the only presence they've got. Bomb's making its way down lower. Chop gonna try and clutch this out, but he's out of position. They've left him alone, and he might be about to wander into Slax's crosshair.
Jeez.
Indeed, he does. 13-8, M80. Once they pull even, they pull ahead, and it's over, right? Put party astronauts into the rearview mirror and just seal the deal. Move on home.
I honestly thought that the party astronauts, like I said, played a pretty good map.